afternoon and welcome to Brighton Broadcaster News at 12:40 with me, Chris Dabbs. Brighton has the second largest homeless population in the UK according to the most recent government figures. But is there enough being done to help those in need on the streets? Volunteers in Brighton have gone out of their way to try and give the homeless an emergency shelter in a disused shop.
A former camera shop on London Road has been transformed into a shelter for the homeless. Volunteers have been trying to help tackle the amount of rough sleepers on the streets. I contacted Brighton and Hove City Council to make a comment on the situation, but they were unable to comment. I'm Jade Dowsett, reporting from Brighton Broadcaster News.
UK-based charity Onside is looking to set up a multi-million-pound youth zone in the centre of Brighton. The charity was introduced to Brighton and Hove City Council by Brighton Youth Centre, who own a site on Edward Street. Our reporter Kate Stewart is at the Youth Centre for us now.
If this proposal goes ahead, it would mean the council investing a further £3.25 million into the project, as well as £200,000 a year towards running costs for the first 3 years. A report to the council said that Onside's proposed development would not be possible in Brighton and Hove since the council don't own any vacant sites in the city. However, the management and board members here at Brighton Youth Centre are supportive of going into partnership with the charity. Brighton Youth Centre is situated on Edward Street, which means it's close to central bus routes, making it a suitable site for the proposed youth zone. Members of the council's Children, Young People and Skills Committee will meet at Hove Town Hall on Monday to discuss the charity's proposal. I'm Kate Stewart for Brighton Broadcaster News.
Brighton and Hove Mission Food Bank has seen a 40% increase in clients over the last year. One of the volunteers, Mike, spoke about possible solutions and causes for the escalating crisis.
We've seen a great increase in numbers, so we're fully booked at the moment, and we have almost a waiting list to get into this food bank.
Brighton residents are more aware of the climate crisis than ever before, according to new research published today. Findings show that nearly 3/4 of people have more awareness of the impacts of climate change now than they did the year before. Our environment correspondent Tom Palmer has more.
New figures from a survey of 2,000 people show that almost 70% said that they are now more aware of the impacts of climate change than they were the year before. Now, the study was conducted by energy provider Igloo and also found that around 30% of people are aiming to reduce their carbon footprint in 2020 by using less energy in their homes. This increase in awareness is due in part to the rise in climate activism, which has seen campaigners like Greta Thunberg and movements like Extinction Rebellion encouraging people to take action towards preventing more environmental damage. I'm Tom Palmer for Brighton Broadcaster News.
Taxi drivers at Brighton Station are upset with the results of contentious taxi rank move to the back of the station. Some drivers claim that this move has decreased their earnings by 30%. One driver has moved her taxi to the front of the station in protest, but says that other drivers are too scared to follow in her footsteps, so there are strict punishments in place by the council for taxi drivers breaking these rules. Brighton and Hove's pubs have revealed that business has been quiet this month. One pub manager, James Miller, thinks that this is due to dry January, which is a month-long pledge to stop drinking.
It's been a lot quieter. I mean, coming from December, which is one of our biggest times of the year, it's such a drastic change to January where the pub is basically empty.
Parents and staff at Moulsecoombe Primary School have been fighting against becoming an academy ever since the school was deemed as inadequate by Ofsted. Natasha Ide, parent at the school, has had this to say.
As it stands at the minute, the Academy Trust announced have walked away, so at the minute we're all in celebrations and enjoying the fact that we can breathe a bit. Hopefully, fingers crossed, another trust doesn't step forwards. I think they'd be stupid if they did, because they can see they've got a big fight on their hands, and we are still protesting, campaigning, and we'll keep fighting all the way.
Nice.
We have contacted Brighton and Hove City Council and the Department for Education, but they're yet to comment. 10 tonnes of lead have been stolen from Madeira Terrace over the Christmas period. This happened amidst restoration of the arches. Lead and copper were stolen from the roof of the functioning Victorian lift, which was set to be the first section to be fully restored. The incident will set the council back in their restoration plans, as funding will now be diverted to replacing the stolen materials.
During the Christmas period, 10 tonnes of lead
A cloudy start to the day, and rain is on the way from the west by the afternoon. But we're experiencing a mild spell with highs of 12 degrees today. Tonight we'll have lows of 9 degrees. Thank you for watching Brighton Broadcaster News. Join us again at 12:30 for more. Join us again at 1:30 for more. I'm Chris Downs. Goodbye.